let's be real, you know that you're the reason that you can't stick to your goals, but what you don't know is why you can't stick to your goals. You keep starting strong and then a week later you're back to your old habits. And this happens again and again and again. Honestly, I have been there for literal years. I have been in them cycles where I start my diet and then I literally start binge eating 3 days later and then constantly being so angry at myself. This cycle is horrible, I get it. I've been there with other things too. Trying to start my business. Oh my days, did it take me literally years to get past that cycle where I would say, oh my god, I'm going to do all of these things. I'm going to start this business and I'm going to do so well at it. A week later, I'm not doing any of the work. I'm procrastinating every single day. I'm finding every other thing to do other than the actual work. And then I'm nowhere near my goal again. Every single goal, I have been there in the beginning. So I know exactly what I'm talking about. And I have reached the goal eventually when I figured this out. I have lost 20 kilograms. I've built businesses. I've 10x my income. I'm currently living in Bali in a 2-bedroom villa on my own. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to getting in your own way and then breaking free from that, because trust me, I've been there many times. So I know how you're going to change your life for real this time, and you're about to find out in this video. You keep going all in way too fast. You're literally trying to change your whole life overnight. The amount of times I've done this is actually beyond ridiculous. The mindset shift everybody needs to know. Imagine you pull an elastic band so fast, eventually it's going to fling and snap right back into you. That's what your nervous system's doing. You keep going all in, but you haven't built the safety and the flexibility to be able to do that yet. We think so much of ourselves, and I know it's amazing to do that, but that is not what is working for you. Clearly, it's not what works for most people. Until you have built that safety and that flexibility to keep going, you're just gonna snap right back into your old habits. Because when you go all in, your nervous system is like, whoa, what is going on here? And it does everything it can to keep itself safe. And when I tell you it will do anything it can to keep itself safe, it will do anything. It goes in complete survival mode. And think about it, when you're in survival mode, say if you're getting attacked by a lion, are you really going to be thinking clearly about your goals? Are you really going to want to go to the gym? Are you really going to want to do the work that you need to do when you're getting chased by a lion? No, your body isn't thinking about that. All it can think about is being safe. So it does everything in its power to find comfort, to find safety. And what's safe to you? Your old patterns. It will feed you thoughts in your head. You ever hear them thoughts that are like, no, don't do that, or go do this or go do that, that are complete opposite things that you actually want to be doing for your goal? That's because your nervous system is doing everything it can to keep you safe. And familiarity, that is one of the biggest things that keeps you safe. Your body knows that. It doesn't need to think about anything. It doesn't need to use the mind to do anything. The habits that you have right now, you do them subconsciously. They are familiar to you. Like you've repeated them so many times that is your normal. When you're in survival mode, that's what your body craves. Your subconscious mind will want to do what's familiar to you, and your conscious mind will be fighting back and forth with your body, your subconscious mind, and your conscious mind. And it's just this huge battle, and your conscious mind is not gonna win. Conscious mind is 5% of your brain. It's not gonna beat your subconscious mind every time. You need to tell your body and your subconscious mind that you're safe. The habits that you need to create and the goals that you want to reach, you need to normalize them so much that you feel safe about them, you feel comfortable about them, because when you do, that's when you're not going to be in survival mode to get there. And then your body will naturally be drawn to it. Your mind will naturally do things you are supposed to do to get to that goal. And we can always think so negatively about ourselves when we do fall back into old habits, but we're not bad people for doing that. We're just in survival mode. We're just doing what we can to feel safe. It's not something you need to beat yourself up about. It's something that you need to understand and work on. Once you have that level of awareness that this is what's going on, we're always blaming ourselves, thinking that, oh, we're constantly chasing pleasure. The reason why we do these things isn't always pleasure. It's actually sometimes because we just want the comfort. We want the safety. We want to feel safe. We're human beings. Our brain is wired to protect us. So you have to start thinking smarter and not harder, because we're constantly trying to think. We need to do this to get the things that we want, but we don't. We need to be 2 steps ahead of our brain at all times. And that is how we're gonna get to the place that we want. So first you mess up, you binge eat, you procrastinate, you don't go to the gym when you said you was going to, you were late again, whatever your goal is. And then you feel so much guilt and shame. You're like, what have I done? Oh, why am I such an idiot? I can't do anything right. I'm so undisciplined. I'm so inconsistent. I actually hate myself? Why do I keep doing this? I'm just constantly stuck in this cycle and it keeps going wrong, and can I even do this? Shall I just stay like how I am? Am I even worthy of what I want? And you get all of these thoughts and beliefs in your head and you beat yourself up for it. And that's when you go into self-sabotage mode. The messing up wasn't the self-sabotage. It was actually when them feelings, them negative feelings, them horrible things that you were saying to yourself, that you was believing about yourself, that is when the self-sabotage started, because your brain was like, oh, I need comfort right now. I'm literally in a fight with myself. I need to protect myself. Give me all the comfort that you can. This is where it happens. The problem isn't the mistake. The problem is how you deal with it after. Unfortunately, that inner voice is so cruel. And because this has happened so many times, it becomes a belief in your mind, and then any belief will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. And that's the last thing that we want. So how do we change that? Well, you're about to find out. Remember, your nervous system is not evil. It's just trying to keep you safe. Imagine this. You're dragging a scared little girl behind you, and you're dragging her, screaming at her to keep up with you. That's your nervous system. She's not trying to sabotage you. She just wants to feel safe. And to make her feel safe, you need to be walking with her, not dragging her along. To stop fighting your nervous system. Instead, get to know it, understand it, and take care of it. Because the harder that you push yourself, the more your nervous system is going to fight back. Till your mind and your body are aligned with your safety and your comfortability and what's normal to you, your nervous system is going to constantly be fighting back at you. You can't change this cycle if you don't understand it. So let's get to know it. Get a pen and paper out right now, or your notes app in your phone, or come back to this part after the video and write these things down. What are your bad habits? What things are triggering you to go back into your old habits? What beliefs do you have? What are some negative things that pop into your head quite often? How do you feel in yourself most of the time? Do you feel confident, or do you feel insecure? Do you feel like you're worthy of love, or do you feel like you don't feel like anyone will love you? It's deep though. That hurt my heart. I know it's not nice to think about these things, but you actually just have to. You're gonna have to. For as long as you keep being oblivious to the things that you are doing, it will keep happening, unfortunately. So, and most of your habits are actually comfort mechanisms for your body's safety. For example, binge eating, or feeling like you're not good enough for someone to love you. That's usually a comfort mechanism because you've been hurt so many times, or you've seen other people be hurt so many times that you feel like you need to protect yourself. So what you need to do is create comfort in the new habits, the new version of you, the new goals that you want to reach, so that your body stops freaking out and stops going to the old comfort mechanisms and starts going for new ones. And one way to do that is by rewiring your subconscious beliefs. So beliefs, they're not facts. Although you might think that they're facts, they're not. Most of your beliefs will be formed by your childhood, your traumas, what you've seen from other people, what you've absorbed through life, and even things that have been repeated multiple times. Did you know that your subconscious mind takes up 95% of your brain? It's only 5% conscious. So your subconscious mind is running the show, it's running your life, it's running everything about you. So you need to learn how to access your subconscious mind. When you make a whole plan of what you're gonna do and your subconscious mind hasn't even agreed to it yet, it doesn't fully know that it's gonna happen, you haven't spoke the subconscious mind language yet, then it was only your conscious mind that took that in. And because your conscious mind only takes up 5% of your brain, of course it's gonna be hard for you to do it because you're using only 5% of your brain. What would make that so much easier if your whole brain was on board with your plan? Wouldn't it? It would be so much easier because you would be using your whole brain. The reason why it's so hard is because you're using so much power. This conscious mind only has so much power and it's very limited. The subconscious mind, however, is so powerful. You know, everything that you do in life, all of your habits that you just do naturally, the waking up, the brushing your teeth, the going to the toilet, these things you don't even need to think about. That's your subconscious mind running the show. Even the things that you see, everything you perceive in the world, your subconscious mind. The things that you do so naturally, that's your subconscious mind doing it. So imagine you could get your subconscious mind to do everything that you want to do, whether that's go to the gym a few times a week, eat healthy every day, do work, feel so confident, whatever you want it to do. Imagine you could get it to do that so naturally, you don't even need to think about it. That is just who you are now. That would make life so much easier. So first we need to actually access the subconscious mind. And how do we do that? I'm about to tell you. One of them is repetition. So when you repeat something so many times, it gets ingrained into your subconscious mind. The second one is slow brain waves. These are the brain waves that you have when you're in your most relaxed state. For example, when you've just woken up in the morning, or before you're going to sleep, or even when you're meditating. You're actually also in the theta brainwave from the ages of 2 till 7. So that's when things were so easy to get into your subconscious mind. Imagine all of the beliefs and the habits and everything that you have now. Most of them were actually programmed from when you was aged 2 till 7. Imagine combining both of them. Imagine you visualized yourself whilst in a meditative state every single day and repeated an affirmation. Imagine you did that combination. Just try it. Just try it. And then, you're welcome. Another thing you can do is, which I love doing, right, is having an affirmation playlist play whilst I'm sleeping is so good. I genuinely don't know how it does it. It's actually crazy. Well, I obviously know how it does it, but it's just mind-blowing how it actually does the job. I'll have self-concept affirmations just playing in the background whilst I'm sleeping, and then I'll wake up the next day and somehow I'm just so showing up so much more confidently. Trust me, try these things. It's honestly so powerful and so underrated. If you don't implement it, why are you even watching this? What's the point? You better implement it, because that's the whole point of this video. I'm not here to just talk at you and then you just go off and do the same things again. We're not staying in that cycle. I've finally learned this so that we can learn this together. And think of your subconscious mind like a garden. Whenever you plant and water something every single day, it's gonna grow, right? But right now, you have so many weeds in your garden. The limiting beliefs are the weeds. You have so many weeds in your garden that you're watering them every single time you mess up. And then they just keep growing and growing and growing and growing. That's not what we want, right? We need to pull them weeds out, plant some new seeds, and then grow them. So we have the best, most beautiful and fulfilling and gorgeous garden. But your weeds are thriving right now because they're the ones that have had your attention for so long. You just need to give your attention and water the seeds that you're planting now, and water them every single day. The new beliefs that you want to adopt, water them beliefs. Keep proving them beliefs right. So for example, if you're trying to have a new belief that you are actually so secure in yourself, then we need to start watering that seed. And the way we can do that is by visualizing yourself every single day as someone that is so secure in themselves, or saying an affirmation every single day about how secure you are in yourself, or journaling for 5 minutes a day about things that you love about yourself. These are the way that you're going to water that seed, and eventually that seed is going to blossom. So understand your self-sabotaging habits. Is it binge eating? Is it procrastinating? Is it skipping workouts? Is it being mean to yourself? And don't go crazy trying to change everything at once. I know you want to. I know you do. I know you want to change your whole life in one night. I know, I get it, but just try. Do the bare minimum consistently, whether that's a week, and then you add another habit on every single week, doing your best that week with that one thing, because consistency is better than perfection, and eventually perfection comes with consistency, but you need to master consistency first. There's no other way around it. You cannot have perfection before consistency. If you keep striving for perfection before consistency, you're gonna get stuck in that cycle again. You're gonna burn out. You're gonna go back to your old habits. You need to focus on consistency first. There's only one way out, and that is it. So in order to do that, you need to stop with all of these habits at once. What are the 2 habits that you can do this week that's gonna move the needle forward for you the most? And just focus on them. Don't focus on all the other things that you need to do. For example, if you're trying to lose weight, I understand the cycle very, very well. Don't start cutting your calories massively, working out every single day, doing 10,000 steps every single day, eating all your vitamins every single day, making sure that your nutrition plan is perfect and you cannot skip a single thing, cutting out all junk food, never drinking alcohol again. You don't need to do all of these things at once. I know you want to, but just focus on the most important things first, and then the rest can follow. And don't try to overload it. For example, I know you want to be so strict and do all of these things every single day. Why don't you start with cutting a few hundred calories 6 days a week, and then sticking to 3 workouts a week? Like, them 2 things are gonna make you lose weight so quick if you do them consistently. But if you're gonna do every single habit I just mentioned and only do them for a week and then go back to your old habits, then nothing's gonna happen. But if you did just them 2 things for let's say 4 weeks, you're gonna see a huge difference in your weight loss. But if you did all of them for 1 week, you're gonna not see a difference. So just choose. I'm telling you, perfection, consistency is always gonna win, because you might lose weight in that 1 week, but you're gonna go straight back to your old habits, and then what are you gonna do then? You're gonna go back to that weight. It's the same with school, uni, or a business or work. You say you're gonna do all of these things. Watch me do all of this in this 1 week, and then you don't even manage to do it all. So overwhelmed. Now you're just stressing all the time. Your nervous system is constantly on edge because overwhelming yourself too much. You're giving yourself too much to do. You can't be consistent with it, and then you're going back to not do it. It's just a whole mess. So I like to do the ripple effect method. So this is where you decide what 2 bad habits do you have right now that every time you do these 2 things, it causes a ripple effect to make you go and do more of these things. For example, when I was working on my business and trying to lose weight at the same time, every single time I would binge eat, it would ruin everything for both of them, because for my business, I had no energy to do any work. It would make a ripple effect that I would do no work. I would genuinely be lazy because I would be in such a coma that I couldn't even focus mentally to do any work. Also, when I binge eat, it would have a ripple effect on my weight loss goal. Consumed so many calories, would put me in such a shit mood. And then obviously the shit mood led to more and more comfort. And let's upgrade these so you're gonna get a ripple effect that's so good. For example, if your worst habit is procrastinating, let's upgrade that and create a ripple effect that works in your favor. To create a good ripple effect for procrastination, you could do something like, if I get 1 hour of work done right now, or if I go to the gym right now, I'm gonna reward myself with watching my favorite film after. And the reason why this gets in such a positive ripple effect is because you actually get the work done, and then not only do you get the work done, but mentally you feel so good about that. You get to reward yourself with a film, and then you feel so good about the work that you just did or that you went to the gym, and then that positive cycle turns into a ripple effect, and it just puts you on the best frequency. Things just start to get the ball rolling when you're on such a high vibration. You've just proved to yourself, oh wait, I can do it. It starts this ripple effect that's just so positive rather than the negative one. You need to get so clear on what you want. You can't just be saying, oh, I want to lose weight, I want to get a boyfriend, I want to make loads of money, I want to graduate university. Get so specific. How much weight do you want to lose? How much money do you want to make? What kind of boyfriend do you want? What do you want to graduate university with? Because until you get clear on what you want, your subconscious mind won't know what to work towards. Your mind is like a GPS. And until you put the destination in the GPS, your GPS is not going to know where to go. How can you expect your mind to do the things that it needs to do if it doesn't even know where to go? Please get clear. I have been in so many situations in my life where I've not been clear on where I want to be. Oh my gosh. It also causes your nervous system to be so chaotic and in survival mode as well. I just think it's a bad situation to be in for your body, your mind, and your nervous system to not be clear on what you want to do. Now you know your exact goal. You need to know exactly who that person is that has that goal. What are her habits? What does she believe? How does she feel? What does she think about herself? How does she show up in this world? How does she speak to people? What kind of boundaries does she have? Every single moment in your life, anytime you feel like you need help, ask yourself, what would she do? What would that woman do that has everything that I want? How would she show up? How would she speak to herself right now? What would she do in this situation? Does she believe this? If she doesn't, cut it out. If she would do something else, do what she would do. Also, start tracking your progress and don't obsess over the goal. Obsess over your days. Make it like a fun game. How can I become the best version of myself today? Today. That is the key word. Like, don't be chasing the future, because that's when our nervous system gets dysregulated, when we're chasing the future so much. It's not something that makes it feel comfortable. Remember, we're trying to keep our nervous system comfortable, and what makes it comfortable is just taking it day by day. Another thing that makes it comfortable, so because your body is constantly seeking comfort, one of the best ways that you can create comfort in your new habits is by making it enjoyable. One of my favorite things to do This is my favorite thing to do ever, and this is from the book Atomic Habits. If you attach a reward with the habit that you want to create, that is a game changer. For example, every single day that I go to a 7 a.m. Pilates session, I always reward myself with a coffee because that gets me so excited to wake up. I also reward myself with a coffee if I go do some work. You genuinely have to reward yourself. That is the best way to not only regulate your nervous system and make it feel safe because you're enjoying the process of actually doing the new habit, and your subconscious mind is like, oh wow, this is actually enjoyable, this is comfortable, let me do more of this. But you can do this with anything. You can even do this with bigger goals if you wanted to. For example, if you stick to one habit for a whole month, then maybe you get to reward yourself with a massage, a spa day, or a shopping spree or something. Having these goals paired with rewards are so powerful. Honestly, it actually is a game changer. Please try that. Honestly, making your process as enjoyable as possible is what will regulate your nervous system, is what is going to keep you going even when you don't want to do it, because it's going to be times that you don't want to do some things, obviously, but trying to make it as enjoyable as possible is going to help you do that. For example, if you're trying to grow your bum, then obviously you have to go to the gym at least twice a week to do that. That's the kind of commitment you have to make. And if you don't like going to the gym and you don't like doing lower body workouts, you're going to need a big reward. I got to the point where I didn't like the gym anymore, but I would go every single day regardless. And the reason I would go is because I would always buy a Red Bull before, and that was my way of getting to the gym and enjoying the process, because I looked forward to that Red Bull every single day. So I looked forward to going to the gym. And when I first ever went through my major weight loss, I didn't go do weights. I committed to going to the gym every single day without fail. But I would do what I wanted, whether that was going on the treadmill, doing some weights. Like, I just made it so enjoyable for myself. I forced myself to do cardio every day, but the reason why it didn't feel like I was forcing myself is because I would watch my favorite TV shows, I would watch my favorite films, my favorite YouTubers whilst I was walking on the treadmill or running on the treadmill. I would do my 12-3-30 session. I was excited to go there because I had a specific TV show that I would watch every single day on that treadmill. So it was like reprogramming my mind to look forward to these things that I would not want to do normally. Normally I would be like, no, I just want to stay at home today. But I was like, actually no, I really want to go because my favorite TV show is there. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just making these things so exciting for you and so enjoyable. Think about your body as like a pet. When you're training your pet, you're not screaming at your dog like, do this, sit. You're obviously being so kind to it, giving it treats, rewards. You're being gentle with it, and you do it consistently. Why do you not do that with yourself? You won't allow yourself time to be consistent. You won't reward yourself for doing it. You're being so mean to yourself. Now let's talk about when you do actually slip up, because it's inevitable, okay? But the first thing that you need to do is check your emotions, because that is the most important part here. The worst thing that you can do when you slip up is feel so guilty and feel like you're ashamed of yourself. That's when the self-sabotage happens. So we need to avoid that as much as we can. Guilt and shame are the lowest frequencies you can be in. You are literally living in hell if you're living in guilt and shame. Like, literal hell. Lowest level of consciousness, the furthest away from God that you can be, that is what hell is. And it's not just a feeling, it's a magnet to self-sabotage, because your body's like, damn, we in hell, let me protect myself. Your body is not against you, it's for you. You just need to outsmart it. You're gonna slip up, okay? That's fine. Do not be mad at yourself. As soon as you get the chance to carry on, carry on. That's it. It's fine. You're not ruining your progress, I promise you. We always think of it like it's so much bigger than it is. Not that deep. If you do slip up, then ask yourself and journal about it. What triggered this slip up? You are dieting. If you're working on a project or whatever it is, and you end up going out for a couple of drinks and some food, you have to ask yourself, right? Is that something that I want to sacrifice? Is going out with my friends something that I want to sacrifice? Is it actually a slip up, or is it just a part of my life? Not everything like that is a slip up. Life is gonna life in life. Like, that is inevitable, and you have to still enjoy your life. Remember, it's not all about restricting, because the more you restrict, the more your nervous system will fight you. It's just about doing these things obviously in moderation, because if you do go over the top, then that obviously will be a slip up, because if you're doing that consistently, then you are prioritizing that over your habits, and that's not what we want. You do it on the occasion, it's not going to be a problem. When you feel so restricted, your body, remember, it will do anything it can to get out of that. If you do go out with your friends, eat food, or if you do get a takeaway one night, or you do accidentally procrastinate for a whole day one day, that's fine. Next day, start over. Every day is a new day to start fresh. Please remember that. What we're trying to do here is minimize the time between our slip up and when we get back on track, because the smaller that gap is, you're so much quicker and closer to your goals, the smaller that gap is. So just try remember that. If you get angry at yourself, the gap will get bigger and bigger to you and your goal. But if you just slip up and you get back on track the next day, you will be at your goal before you even know it. So build safety for yourself and stop bullying yourself. If this spoke to you, then please let me know in the comments, especially if there's anything that you're struggling with, then please let me know in the comments. I would love to help give you some advice. And just remember that you are so capable of becoming the best version of you. I am so proud of you. Keep going, and see you in the next video.